Okay.
There's no difference with other systems.
Rolling.
Already? Okay, recording start. So please put on your base behaviors, if not your coach will see it. Yes.
It's okay, he loves us.
I'm not sure.
The difference when the recording starts and now is.
Okay, at least one of us will make it to the fight. Okay, stop.
Okay, we just scolded later, guys.
Bye.
Okay, can I ask for your ranks, motion ranks?
Is there?
That is
Motion 3 was right.
We ranked 2, 1, 3.
1, 3.
Yeah, 1, 2,
They
3.
were 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, because
And then
one,
we win because
two,
yes.
three.
I think.
Oh, so you guys go coin flip.
No, we do rock paper scissors.
Rock,
Yeah.
paper, scissors.
Yeah.
See, still can.
You want to rock paper scissors me?
It's okay, never mind.
You know Ryan's going to watch this and he's going to be like, what
Yes.
I'm sorry to confirm Lee Hao.
the
Was it HE?
Okay, Lee Hao Tse, Alana Jane Wong, Dahlia Lau, Ines Dayal, Henry Wong, Zidane Zikri.
I apologize too.
It's okay.
We shall also be on our screen. Wait. How do I do it?
Okay.
Okay, good enough.
Can we get the Zidane to stop? Okay, stop.
Okay, let's go later. Yeah, good. Where's our adjudicators?
Okay. So before I start, few rules. If you want to use the toilet, you can do so anytime in between speeches. Do tell me that you want to use the toilet. And if you guys want to take your time to prepare your notes before you speak, do take your time. No need to inform me. No need to ask for permission. And thirdly, the rule is to enjoy yourself in this debate. So don't feel stressed or nervous. Okay? Yes.
The best.
You can ignore the camera again. Okay, now let's start the debate. This house believes that Sarawak should develop and manufacture a new Malaysian national car. I repeat, this house believes that Sarawak should develop and manufacture a new Malaysian national car. On government, is represented by Sekolah Menengah Lodge 4, with the Prime Minister Dahlia, Deputy Prime Minister Alana, Government Whip Lee Hao Je, and the government report done by Alana. Then on our right, we have opposition, represented by Sekolah Menengah Lodge number 3, Leader of Opposition Henry, Deputy Leader of Opposition Zidane, and Opposition Whip Nash. Then Opposition reply speaker would be Henry. So without further ado, let us begin the motion. This house believes that Sarawak should develop and manufacture a new Malaysian national car with Dahlia. Here.
Okay. I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. As of now, Sarawak has no assets in the car industry. So in this debate, my team would prove how this helps Sarawak's economy image positively. And opposition, in this debate, we would like you to prove how this would negatively impact the country since selling cars equals more money. So the definition of this motion is develop and manufacture it basically means like research, build, and then sell. Okay? And then Malaysian national car is basically a car that can like proudly represent Malaysia. And like people will think of Malaysia like when you see it, right, they're like, oh, that's Malaysia's car. Anyways, my argument for this will be Malaysia has never had a national car come out of Sarawak. Later. Okay. Ganjil, Perodua, Proton is from West Malaysia. No cars are from Sarawak, okay? None. And like it can give us pride because you know Proton Saga, right? please excuse my language. It means, okay, some people call it 笨蛋 Saka. So basically, it's not good lah, you know, right? So basically, it's like, because you know why they call it that? It's because a lot of people, right, they set really high expectations for this car, but they didn't meet them. So like, it's like a major letdown, and like there's really bad reviews lah. So that's why, like Sarawak should use this and like make a car that can prove how Sarawak is better. Okay, and like, see, next one is, you know how, okay, Sarawak is more experienced now, and there's a chance for Sarawak to like take the lead in the car industry, as in like beat the other states in producing cars. Okay. Later. Okay. So why is it important? You know, it's important because like the popular cars from Malaysia, like I said before, is like none of them are from Sarawak, and like we can also have like more, we can be more patriotic about Sarawak, because we have a car lah, okay? Before I continue, POIs please. Okay,
PI,
what? Sorry.
just now you said it was a major letdown. Doesn't this mean, so what you mean is that since it's a major letdown, we shouldn't make a new car anymore? Oh, you said it's a major.
I said West Malaysia made a car that is a major letdown. That's why Sarawak should use this their advantage, make a car that isn't a major letdown, okay? Okay? Right. Why is it important? Okay. We can, alright, it's important because right, we can connect with West Malaysia after we made this car and like strengthen our political bonds. Because like, you know, right now West Malaysia is more popular, so that's why if Sarawak and West Malaysia, they just like combine and become like more you know, more famous, like it's like stronger lah, okay? And like why now? Why are we making this now? Okay? Because like even if like it's either now or 10 years later or like a few years later, right? So like wait. So like because now, right, it's better than 10 years later. You know why? Because like, even if our progress is slow, there is still progress. So 10 years later, like we will start where we are now. So like now, right, 10 years later, it's just more progress. Like, your eyes.
What was my PI already? PI.
Yes.
Isn't Malaysia part? Isn't Sarawak a part of Malaysia? Yes or no?
It is. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
The speaker spoke for 4 minutes and 34 seconds.
Are you okay?
You okay?
She's very enthusiastic.
I feel like I missed out something.
Can you give us a few seconds?
No problem. That's an national.
Sarawak means better than West Malaysia. That's okay. Malaysia is very part of Malaysia. Is it not?
Okay. So, thank you, Prime Minister. Without further ado, let us now invite the Leader of Opposition, Henry, to start off the opposition case with his speech. Hear, hear.
Chair, us Malaysia has already had a Malaysian national car. So why should we make new ones when it may majorly let down other people? Since the opposition side already said that West Malaysia already made a major letdown, right? Now what do you like? And also, right, us Sarawak is in Malaysia. So if West Malaysia makes cars, we should be proud of our own country for making cars too. Am I right? Now I move on to one more of my rebuttal, which is, never mind, I will skip that. Now I would like to I would like to say the definitions for national car. Since Prime Minister didn't state the definition of new Malaysian national car, I would like to state the definition. It is a new car brand. And I would also like to state our burden for today for side government and opposition, which is we, side opposition, is here to prove why we shouldn't develop and manufacture a new Malaysian national car.
Yeah.
Later. Okay. Now I'll go on to my argument. So if we develop and manufacture a new Malaysian national car, we will be wasting time. How? First of all, you need to think and plan everything. First of all, you need to think and plan everything out, which will already take around 1 month or more, because you will need to design the logo, you need to design how the car looks like, which already can take more than 1 month. Next, you also need years to make everything. What I mean by that is, you need to make the cars, you need to make your brand official, you also need to have a building for your headquarters. So this will already take years, so you will be wasting time. So why should we waste all of our time to make something new when we already have Proton? All you have to do is take Proton and make it better and improve it. Like you can spend more time on Proton to develop, and you can take more time to improve Proton instead of developing and manufacturing a new Malaysian car.
Would you as a Sarawakian, would you as a Sarawakian rather buy a Sarawakian brand of like cup meat or a West Malaysian brand of cup meat?
West Malaysian cup meat.
Clarify.
I would rather choose West Malaysian cup meat because first of all, Malaysian cup. Wait, this is not related to the motion, so I will not be answering this. Since it's not related, okay? Okay. Any more PRIs before I continue? 3, 2, 1. Okay. My next factual argument will be that we will also need a lot of resources, but why should we waste it? Why should we waste it to use all of it to develop and manufacture a new Malaysian national car? When we can use all the resources to make more buildings or even more stuff. We can also sell all these resources to other countries to get money, which can be developed to our own country, which means that with all this money, we can develop our country, make it more popular, make it better, and not only that, since Sarawak has a lot of resources, we can sell it to develop Sarawak by itself. We can make Sarawak better, more popular than West Malaysia. Yes.
In this, like you have previously stated that why can't we just like improve Proton Sangha, right? But like in this debate for Sarawak, and Proton Sangha is not from Sarawak, so how are we gonna improve it?
Okay. So from my side, my DPM will reply your PI later. He will clarify and explain more briefly later. Next. So basically what I mean is that why should we waste all this time and resources on developing and manufacturing a new Malaysian national car when we can use all of this time and resources, we can sell the resources for money, and we can use all of this to make Sarawak a better state, to make Sarawak more popular than West Malaysia. Isn't that what all Sarawakians want? Don't we want Sarawak to be more popular? Don't we want people to notice Sarawak more than West Malaysia? So I don't think Sarawak should waste all this time and resources to develop and manufacture a new Malaysian national car. I don't think all Sarawakians at Sarawak should develop and manufacture a new Malaysian national car when we can make it all better. We can make Sarawak better again. Any POIs before I conclude? Are you sure?
Yes.
You have POIs?
No.
Okay. In conclusion, I think that we shouldn't develop and manufacture a new Malaysian national car because we can use time and resources to invest in something else to make Sarawak better, to make Sarawak more popular. And with that, I'm proud to propose. I end my speech. Thank you.
I have a question. What's the POI?
I didn't go to the
I could not give any comment. In silent. Yes, please.
Wait, okay, can I start my debate?
Cannot. Until they come back.
What? Oh, okay, more time to prepare, I guess. But can I
Fast, please.
Educator, I got a question. If it's not related to the motion, do they get deducted mark?
I cannot answer now. It's really during the debate.
But can you answer later?
I will answer later if you ask.
Thank you.
Can we get personal feedback at the end?
Cannot. Tomorrow.
So tomorrow you will tell us, right?
Wow.
How long did I speak for?
6 minutes and 27 seconds.
Oh, good. What happens if we have a heart attack today night because we don't know the wedding?
Sorry?
What happens if we get heart attack don't know wedding?
Unfortunately, I cannot tell.
Carol is nice.
Sorry, thank you.
Do I have to wait for my PM to come back or can I just skip?
No.
Wait for my PM to come back?
Oh, where she go?
She went to the
Yeah, you have to wait for him to come.
Oh, okay.
Are you guys ready?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, leader of opposition. Without further ado, let us now move to the Deputy Prime Minister. Here.
Okay, you guys know what the Sarawak flag looks like, right? Do you guys know what black represents in the Sarawak flag? It represents natural resources. But what's the problem with this? In about 50 years, all of the petroleum will either be used up or cannot be extracted anymore from the ground. Which leads me to my first point. Building this national car will allow us to provide more source of income and develop in the industrial area or field. What do I mean by this? Number one, Sarawak has resources, of course, in oil and gas, which is petroleum, timber, which is wood, minerals, which is coal, gold, and silica, and agriculture, which is in palm oil. But what is the problem with all of these? Second point, they are all exhaustible resources, which means that, for example, oil and gas, it can be used up. Timber, well, you can cut down all the trees. Minerals, you can extract them from the soil all. And palm oil, also, you can get all them cut down. Okay? But if you have a car brand, right, this cannot be exhausted. So this is a car that you can sell. You can buy like the parts and then you can build it and you can sell it. You can never run out of cars to sell, quote unquote. All of our resources nowadays for us to make money from are all natural. And the third point, I want to talk about a real world example, the ART. You guys all know that Sarawak is building the ART. This is the store of train. This is showing that the government is shifting focus to transportation. And this is why we should take this chance to help expand in the transportation industry too. Now, why is this important? This will allow more job opportunities for Sarawakians. Because if you're building a car, like we said, you need to plan, think and everything. You need these people who will be planning and thinking. You have to pay them money. This will allow Sarawakians to get more jobs. And this is, and then comes to my second importance, our economy is failing. Let me just give you a bit of proof for that in case you want a real concrete example. Okay, the EPF, right, is basically,
Bjorn,
yes,
you said that our economy is failing, so how do you plan to pay these people when our economy is already that bad?
exactly. If we have this car, we are going to sell this car and we're going to earn money from this. Okay, if you continue on like this, I've already talked about how our resources are exhaustible. This is like a ticking time bomb. At least with this car, which I'll go into my rebuttals later, we have something to back us up, okay? Actually, I better go into the rebuttals now while the POI is still fresh. My rebuttals. Opposition like said that it might be a major letdown and we need to think and plan everything. So this is a waste of resources. But think about it, if we want to open up a car brand in the future, at least now we've already built all the factories, we've already done all the research, right? This is not a waste of money, it's a long-term investment so that it will be easier for us to go into the industrial industry. And even if we, in the end, for example, worst case scenario, our car's a major letdown, like 0 people buy it, which is highly unlikely but worst case scenario. And so you can still allow other people to use these car factories. Like you can let other countries come here and say, oh, we have a factory here, you can use it, okay, pay us for it, like rent or something. Then you're still, so this will still in the end be able to be a source of income, okay? And back to my point of why it's important, because the economy is failing. So the EPF, which is some sort of like a pension, but for people who are not government workers, you can put the money inside, right? During the COVID, when COVID struck, the government, the Malaysian government, let people take money out of the EPF. So this means that more than half of the people have less than 100k in the EPF. So when they retire, there's going to be an economic recession, and this is why we need something to back up our economy. And number 2, my main point is there's a high possibility of this succeeding. We talk about how there's the probability of it being a major letdown, but no, I oppose.
To clarify, you stated Malaysia, correct?
Yes, this is the whole of Malaysia. EPF affects the whole of Malaysia, not only West Malaysia, okay? And okay, my second main point is the high possibility of succeeding. I completely oppose the point that this would be a major letdown. Because guess what? There are no other successful Sarawakian brands in the car industry. As a Sarawakian, right, you normally have to buy from outside. But now you have this brand from Sarawak, you're going to feel attached to it because you know the people who made this brand. You know, okay, your minister is going to be on the country television promoting this brand. It's going to be the brand that is representing the entirety of Malaysia. You're going to feel really proud because now when people think of Malaysia, they think of Petronas, Twin Towers or stuff like that. Now when you think of Malaysia and type in car, you will see Sarawak brand. You will feel proud about it. This is a huge deal. And second of all, this is cheaper because you don't need to import. If you're manufacturing this car in Sarawak, you don't need to import the and for example, you have to choose between buy a car from Sarawak and buying a Lamborghini or something from I don't know where Lamborghini is produced, I'm sorry, but let's for example say Italy. So you have to, for Lamborghini, you have to import the Lamborghini car all the way from Italy. It's going to be fees, but from Sarawak, the car is already produced in Sarawak. You can just get the car directly from like that. So it's closer, less import fee, which means cheaper, better, supports my point about economy. And why is this important? Because it improves our image, okay? Because we have a good car brand. So, and we'll become more confident as a Sarawakian. Because, yes?
Isn't it if it's a bad car brand, it would have a bad image too?
Okay, I already went through my worst case scenario where if this is a bad car brand, you'll be able to say, the government will be able to say at least we made an effort and they can learn from this and this will allow you to have all the factories built and stuff. I already mentioned this in my rebuttals. Anyway, it will improve our image because we have a car brand and will have more confidence as a Sarawakian because you know that your company actually, your country, your state actually put in the effort to try and make a good car brand. Also, back to the highest possibility of succeeding, you also have diplomatic relations like Sabah and West Malaysia. So you have these ties, okay, and you'll be able to sell them to these countries, especially in Sabah. Sabah has not created a car brand yet, and Sarawak and Sabah are very close together. You could potentially sell to them, okay? And also, how in my PM speech you stated that there are a lot of car brands from West Malaysia, right? You could collab with them. I'm going to further strengthen your point. You could collab with them. You could say, you could get all the research from them, so you don't need to spend as much time researching. You could use their take their car models and reinvent it and innovate it, so you have to waste less time because you already have these diplomatic ties. Okay, and with that, I end my speech.
The speaker spoke for 6 minutes and 58 seconds. Thank you once again. Next, let us now invite the Deputy Leader of Opposition and the Leader of Opposition.
Maybe just really organize my arguments. We have already spent billions on the car van, Proton and Pro2 and Kanchil, but it has gotten us nowhere on the automobile market. You can only see Protons in Malaysia, and if you go anywhere else, any other foreign country, you won't see any Proton. But that doesn't mean we need to create a whole new brand of car, a whole new brand, which is a gamble between ruining our economy or having a better economy. But in a country like Malaysia, where there's where it's easily corrupted governments, we as an opposition don't believe that we should develop, that Sarawak should develop and manufacture a new Malaysian national car. Proud to oppose. I'll start by clarifying before moving on to my rebuttals and then finally my arguments. Now for my clarification. First, I'd like to clarify on the POI that was given by first speaker of government to a first speaker of opposition about the Laksa in Sarawak or the Laksa in Peninsular Malaysia. Would you go for the one that tastes better? Would you not go for the one that will taste better? The one that you feel tastes the most delicious to you? And I'll go to the second POI that they have given to my first speaker, which is Proton Saga isn't how Proton Saga isn't a Sarawak car. Well, that's true, but the important thing is it's a Malaysian car. Proton Saga isn't a Sabah car also. Proton Saga is also not a car from Kelantan. It is, if you look at Proton, you don't think of that state. You think of the whole Malaysia. Now I'll be moving on to my rebuttals, and I have two rebuttals to present. The first one is that I don't know, I forgot what speaker said, but the Sarawakians will have more jobs. This is completely not important, because if we focus on the industries that we do best, like for example the palm oil industry, because we have palm oils here, and where we understand every nook and cranny on it, we will do it more efficiently and have a better economy than in the automobile industry, where we're building cars, we're building factories, and we don't know a thing we're supposed to do. Rejected. Now I'll move on to my second rebuttal. The Deputy Prime Minister also said that if there's no cars out, you can just sell the car factory. I'd like to ask this: who are you going to sell the car factory to? This is sorry. And you also said that you're going to sell that car factory for the money. But won't you get more money just by selling the resources? Or like I said earlier, the focus on our industry. simply focusing on what we do best and give the workload of the carbon to maybe other states or to the country to piece out everything. Before I move on, any POIs? Okay. Now I'll be moving on to my argument. My first argument is that why is it that Sarawak has to develop the car? Why it cannot be Kelantan or Pahang or Sabah? This is true because Sarawak is already busy on other things like focusing on improving the infrastructure or improving the cost of living or improving how the people in Sarawak live. And number two, why is a state in Peninsular Malaysia not doing it? Peninsular Malaysia, they have also claimed themselves that they are more developed than Borneo, Malaysia. They can focus a lot more on the car, unlike in Sarawak, where we already have many other industries to do, many other industries to focus on, and many other industries that will help better the economy of Malaysia. This is important because, like I said earlier, Sarawak is not in a place right now to help Malaysia to make a new car. They're already doing many things for Sarawak. They're already making Malaysia have a good economy. Why should they get more workload by making a whole new factory just for the automobile company? So another thing is that Sarawak is in a strategic location for tourism, like for example for tourism, maybe the zoos, the forest reserves, and ports. You know, the Miri Port, the port in Kuching, I forgot the name, sorry. People know Sarawak because of this. They don't know Sarawak because of the automobile industry. Letting Sarawak suddenly having an automobile industry, don't you think it's just very, very weird? Why should they focus on an entirely different thing when they are already doing well in their own thing already? It will be a complete waste of time and it's going to be completely useless. Sarawak is also boosting the economy already. Why should Sarawak overwork themselves while the other states are not doing anything?
Yeah.
Accepted.
Okay. So you're basically.
Okay. Now moving on to my second argument, which is the reason why other states should be the one developing the new car and not Sarawak. This is true because one, Sarawak is already like I said earlier, Sarawak is already prioritizing other things. So if we were to develop a new car, production will be slow. The quality of the car will probably not be good. And number two is that I like to ask Gov is what are other states right now doing right now to improve the economy? Name me one state that's doing another thing other than Sarawak, maybe Kelantan or something. This is important because if we were to give it to another state instead of Sarawak, it can develop the car. The development of the car can boost production will be better. And number two, the nation will be proud that we have a new car, because if it was Sarawak, I wouldn't say they wouldn't be proud, but yeah, Sarawak's already having a lot of workload. And number three, Sarawak can focus on their own thing. Can focus more on their own thing. Now I'll move on to my weighing. For opposition side, we are keeping a stable economy. We are keeping a stable economy. For our government side, Sarawak will be the only state working on almost every industry. In conclusion, we have fulfilled our burdens and the burdens that government had given to us, which is how it will negatively impact the country. And with that, I would like to end my speech. Thank you.
Can we have a few seconds to discuss?
So first I'll be
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
We can speech. Maybe.
Okay. Thank you, Deputy Leader of Opposition, for that speech. Now, we are going to move on to the government wave. Without further ado, let us invite Lee Hao-she. Here.
So first, I'll be going through some rebuttals which has been stated by side op. So first, right, the deputy leader of opposition, they stated that the natural resources that we are using as like our source of economy right now, they are most stable than automobile. However, automobile has like a growing demand as like the population of the world is also increasing. And if you can see these automobiles everywhere right now, and just anywhere you can see automobiles even in those rural areas. So next, right, they said Sarawak is already focused on other stuff like economy, cost of living, but they didn't clarify on this. There are no proof of this, and then okay, after this, right, they also talk about how they are like other states are doing better, but we know they are doing better. We cannot have like all these other states that is super rich while we have one state which is like a lot which is behind, and then you are leaving them more behind in economy, which will probably leave them astray in the future. Yeah.
Are you stating that West Malaysia is far better in has far more resources compared to KL and all have far better resources compared to us?
You only stated, okay, so before the 15 seconds, you only stated about resources, right? Okay, so, well, we did not state anything about resources. I did not state anything about resources. I only stated that the economy there is already doing better. It's already doing better. They have things. What to say? There are things at the Petronas Twin Tower. There are things at Petronas Twin Tower, and as mentioned, Perodua, Joven, whatever companies they are out there, and they are of course like doing better, because like in our Sarawak, right? Can you like name me one brand which is also popular in West Malaysia? Of course not. Okay, so next I'll be moving on to my weighing. So first, right? Oh wait, I forgot this rebuttal. So side op, right? The thing that we are wasting, side op thinks that we are wasting time doing. We are wasting time making this company. But what we have to understand, right, is that most companies, like most other successful companies, Microsoft, Apple, maybe even like IKEA, right? They all come from thinking and planning. There's nothing you can do that just came out of your mind.
POI?
Yeah.
Are you saying that other companies do not get an idea of creating a company for that thing?
No. I'm saying they get the idea. I'm saying that they get the idea of doing or doing this or like making this like company, and then they will have to try to develop and plan and maybe quote unquote waste their time on this idea to actually make it successful. Okay, so another thing they said, right, is that another thing they said is that why should we make a new car brand company when we can just continue developing the ones from West Malaysia? But as I've already stated, right, our Sarawak is already quite far behind in economy. If you just let West Malaysia get the lead, Sarawak will probably not benefit Malaysia as much as them, and Sarawakians themselves, they will feel, no, I'm sorry. So Sarawakians will probably feel more behind than West Malaysians, and they will probably think of themselves as inferior.
POI.
No. Please, sorry, I already like taken two. I forgot where it was.
Oh gosh.
What's the speech time now?
4 minutes 57 seconds.
Take your time.
Okay. So now I'll be moving. Wait. Okay. It suddenly came into my mind, but they said like okay. So they said it will be like a major letdown, right? But they said it will be probably be a major letdown because of all the failures from West Malaysia. But because of all these failures, we can learn from it. We already know what kind of mistakes we made. We can try to amend it because like all those mistakes are already made clear by them. All the effects are apparent even until now. Those are all long-term effects which had been given. Okay, so now I'll be moving on to my clashes or weighing, whatever you call them. So their main argument here. Okay, so opposition side's main argument here is that this thing is ineffective. It's not ineffective. This thing is ineffective. But if it's ineffective, right? Whose side does it benefit? None of us, because it literally just does nothing. While you compare it with our side, where we state all the benefits of this, like how Sarawakians, the quite underdeveloped Sarawak, right? Their citizens will probably feel more proud, have more trust in their government, which is important in building up, a developed community. Okay, with that I'll be ending my speech.
The speaker spoke for 7 minutes and 3 seconds. Thank you, Government Whip. Now, without further ado, let's invite the Opposition Whip to start his speech. Get here.
Kancil, Proton, Produan. These are examples of car brands which are made in Malaysia. Panel. I have clearly stated example of car brands which are made in Malaysia. These are car brands which are very good. They just need little bit of modifications, upgradings, then they will become better, and then we can just advertise it and sell it to other countries. This is as simple, and this is our burden which we have fulfilled today as side opposition. While side government has stated that they want to create a new car brand for Sarawak, but they have contradicted themselves, which I will be tackling later in my rebuttals. Actually, never mind. I'll just move on to my rebuttals now. So firstly, side opposition stated they can sell more money and sell cars and get more money after they have created the car brand. But first of all, they must first understand that when they are creating the car brand, it will waste resources, it will waste money, and the time taken it will take a long time to create a new car brand. So I hope side opposition will be able to side government will be able to understand this. Second, no thank you. Chair, side government has just contradicted, side government's DPM has contradicted herself when she had said, she said that EPF, which has during the COVID, Malaysian citizens have taken out a lot of money from their EPF, where certain Malaysians only have nearly an average of 100,000 in their EPF savings, which will not be enough for when they retire. Now, I'm going to just explain to you why making a new car brand in such short time would take making a new car brand will take too long, so I don't think they can sell it, and I think Malaysia's economy will first be destroyed, and Sarawak's resources will be gone first. So it would be easier if we were just to popularize and upgrade our car brands which we already have. Proton just needs a few more upgrades before it can be able to be sold, and I do not think that this will take more than 2 years. 2 years compared to creating a whole new car brand which would take around 5 years. Is this clear to you that creating compared to upgrading is far better? Upgrading is far better than creating. Side government, please take note of this. Okay, I think we have shut down the side government's point of creating some income by stating all of this, and then when side government has stated, side government's DPM had contradicted herself when stating that they can borrow Sabah's car designs, because you stated yes.
Okay, so you said that we can just upgrade those West Malaysian car brands, but how much of the profit from those West Malaysian car brands will be given to Sarawak?
It will be given based on what should be given. It will be based on a certain system which will be determined, which is not for us to determine now. That will be that is not to be determined. Never mind. You said that you can borrow Sabah's car brands because you all have better relations and ties with them. So I need to tell you this, that it is not exactly what, it is still not your own original car idea because you are just borrowing it from somebody else. Okay, now I would like to strengthen my restate the answer for a certain POI which one of our side received. The car taking, who would think of buying the car company after you have stated that it has failed? You yourself have contradicted yourself. You said when we are out of money, we will just sell the car brand. We will get money. That is what y'all has stated. So, who would want to buy a car brand which is failing? It will take time to improve, and by then it will be too long. So, might as well we just improve it and we use it as our own asset. Don't just sell it off, and the car we have spent years on would be wasted, and it would not even be that improved. It would be someone else's, and we would also be wasting money because the car brand's quality is weak, and so people would not buy it, but some people would because they are smart. Okay, now the world comparison, side government. Sarawak will have a good automobile level, but in doing this, you will drain our resources faster, and before your first car can sell, you will be out of resources. Because it takes a lot of time to build. And as you have stated, that Sarawak will be out of resources very soon. So you have just contradicted yourself again. But on side opposition, we have far better hopes for Malaysia and Sarawak as a whole. We have brought up an old car brand. We have made it better. We have popularized it. In our worst case scenario, that the upgrades don't work, we can still sell it rather well. But on side government, your best case is that it does. We can still do better, but you will take a lot of time. So yeah, we as side government have obviously won this. Now on to our yeah. With this, I will end my speech.
Okay, the speaker spoke for 7 minutes and 22 seconds. Thank you, Opposition Whip. Finally, to conclude the Opposition's case, let us invite the Opposition reply speaker. Here.
You won't give us feedback, right? No.
We. Can I start?
Yes, and
We, as opposition easily, take this case as we have proven our burden, which was we shouldn't develop and manufacture a new Malaysian national car by stating that we will be wasting time. We will be wasting time on planning everything out, resources, when we can use it for other stuff like making Sarawak more developed and high-tech. And then next, I'm gonna move on to, we proof burden government gave us, which was how it will negatively impact the country, which we said it will be a waste of resources and it's a gamble. Okay, so the worst case scenario for opposition side is that we don't lose anything, but instead we focus on what we are doing right now. And the best case for government is that more job opportunities in work fields that we are lacking on. Next, to summarize what I've said to summarize opposition side, we have stated all that have proved. We have stated all the points that have proven our burden. To prove that our burden, we have stated all the points that prove our burden in this debate today. So, in conclusion, we have clearly won this debate because we have given you reasonable arguments that have proved our burden, whereas side government has been putting all the arguments on a gamble between ruining and helping our economy. With that, I will end my speech. I am very proud to oppose.
speaker spoke for 2 minutes. Thank you, opposition reply. Finally, to conclude this debate, let us now turn our attention to the government reply. Here.
I'll start my speech with some rebuttals, move on to my clashes, and then burden fulfillment, and finally a conclusion. Okay, first of all, rebuttals. They said I said we will borrow Sarawak's car rents. For context, I said that we will borrow where's Malaysia's car brand? Because as you remember in my speech, I said Sabah does not have car brands, right? But to use their own medicine against them, they said upgrade is better than build, right? Well, yes, exactly. We're going to upgrade Sabah. We're going to upgrade where's Malaysia's car brands. This will provide us to be able to make our car faster. And then also a second point, why do you think all the failing car brands are from West Malaysia? There must be a reason of their way of doing things. This is not just gamble, this is giving Malaysia a chance of letting another state to try and build a car brand that may have a different way of thinking and may have a different way of building cars, okay? And also, they completely ignored my POI, okay? What was my POI? It was, these are all West Malaysian car brands. If you upgrade them, how much of the profit is going to go to Sarawak? Think about it, right? West Malaysian car brand, you upgrade the West Malaysian car brand, profit all goes to West Malaysian companies and stuff. Sarawak receives nothing. This is a reason why we need to prioritize this, okay? We want Sarawak to get the benefit, and as a Sarawakian, I really agree with this case, and I strongly agree with it. Okay, let's move on to the clashes. Mostly, they're talking about how this is a waste of Sarawak's money. Why are they saying this? Because apparently you don't want to put resources into like this field where you're lacking. You don't want to look at this weakness, and you just want to focus on your strength, on all of those fields that I stated so far. That are all the exhaustible resources, and you want to just focus on that, ignoring that you're completely undeveloped in this field, completely ignoring all the people that are studying for like engineer and stuff that could work in this field. Versus outside, where we're going to improve the economy, where our main point is we're going to improve the economy and make Sarawak more popular with this. So, what do we fulfill our burdens? Yes, because what was our burden? It helps Sarawak economically and it helps Sarawak's image. Yes, we're going to be able to sell cars, we're going to be able to advance the industry field. Because if you're, as you've stated, right, if you're going to make a car, you need to advance your industry, you need to make sure that you have everything needed to like plan and stuff like set by opposition. So you're going to have to develop stuff, and this is going to help you in the long run. And also your image, because your car gets a chance to represent a whole country of Malaysia. This is going to up Sarawak's image dramatically. So, in conclusion, why should our side win? Because we have fulfilled our burden, we have provided more arguments than opposition, and we have also been more and we have also have explained our worst case scenario better, and in the end, I believe I'm very proud to propose.
I didn't take the debate seriously.
It's okay.
She said she was taking this debate seriously this time.
How can you push? So can you answer the question already, Educator?
Okay, give me some time now.
Okay, pass the floor and shake hands.
Go first.
Pass the
Oh, okay, sorry. The speaker spoke for a few minutes, and that concludes this debate. Please do cross the floor and shake hands.
Yeah, how long did I speak for? How long did I speak for?
I will let you get this.
Mr. Ryan, I'm being tortured. Oh my god. I love you so much. Can we shake both the hands at the same time?
Edison!
Shake both the hands at the same time. Wait, Inesh. Guys, stop fooling around.
Okay, wow. Congratulations.
Are you proud of her?
Your time was 6 minutes. 20 seconds.
No, I mean I replied.
Uh,
Do something.
I cannot give anything about what you guys did, but while it's still recording, I think this topic, I let you know, I think this topic here, there's one thing that you guys can focus into is, because it's actually it is a motion there because it relates to Sarawak. Because you know Miri is one of the largest export of oil.
I said no, I don't say.
Okay.
Do they get marks from saying that?
Please be proud of us.
Okay, why I want to say about that is because I think Alana, the QI that you questioned them, it just brings me some thoughts. So this motion is here. I'll just explain to you so you guys can use it for research maybe tonight or anytime you have. Because Sarawak, if they export fuel through oil to Petronas, they are being given like percentage. So the percentage usually is not good. That's why I think a few years back or recently there was a law being passed in June to allow the Sarawak to have their own control of the oil
So not Malaysia, just
Sarawak control. So this topic has a bit of relation to that. So just let you know that you guys can research a bit on that, on what laws have been passed in Sarawak to answer Sarawakian topics.
But the Sarawak thing wouldn't be in
No more already. Sarawak team if it came here, no more. Tomorrow morning.
How we get it? Like, is it they give it like the MPH there or like?
Yes, they will release your results in MPH, then they will give a few moments for you guys to look for your educator, which is me, and tomorrow I'll give you okay.
Wait, so you say everyone has to come, like?
Usually everyone has to come.
And then
What if we
We'll still give you
and then
oral education.
and then what about the
It's like
quarterfinals?
Sorry?
The
Octo.
Octo